They ain't know what the data. They ain't know what the data.
Hi guys, so I'm back again with Diamond Dave, and today we got to talk about Usain Bolt and PNB Rock, right? So it has to do with investments, life insurance, all that good stuff. So, hi Diamond Dave.
What's going on, Dana? Glad to be here. Glad to come through and make sure that we continue to give your audience some really, really good value around these topics.
Right, exactly. But before we get started, this is your company?
Yes, ma'am. So it's pretty much I would call like an online academy, kind of like a hybrid model. So there's an online course along with some one-on-one consultation, some group consultation, kind of based around trying to help people get the life they desire by leveraging the financial markets. But we specifically look at the options market. And as people go through that particular door, often they find a larger environment that they want to operate in, but they kind of use us as the entry point.
Okay, cool.
Yes, ma'am.
So go to www.highestpaid.online.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll put the website in the description below in this video as well.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into it. Usain Bolt, right? How you lose $12 million overnight? Okay, so let me what is this? Okay, let me pull the article up, right?
Okay. Yeah, I saw this. That's unfortunate.
Very.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate, but things happen.
Yeah, things happen, and he's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, things happen.
So, Olympic champion Usain Bolt seeks missing $12.7 million from Jamaican investment firm. Olympic champion Usain Bolt is seeking to recover more than $12 million that disappeared from his account with a Jamaican investment firm and is willing to take the case to court if necessary, Bolt's attorney said. So this article came out, I'm trying to look at the date. No. I don't know. I'll get the date later. So it says Bolt last week was informed that his account balance at the Kingston-based Stocks and Securities Limited (SSL) had explicitly dwindled to just $12,000.
Yeah.
We will be going to court with the matter, of course, because that's too much damn money.
Yeah.
If the company does not return the funds. It is a grave disappointment, and we are hoping that the matter will be resolved in a way that Mr. Bolt will recover his money and will be able to live in peace. So SSL said January 12th statement that it had became aware of fraudulent activity by a former employee and has referred the matter to law enforcement, adding that it had taken steps to secure access and strengthen protocol. All right, so how do you lose $12 million overnight?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing and what they need to do is try to figure out, get some accounting. Because the question is, why did they just identify him when he only had 12,000 left? Because he started with 12 million. So at what point was it 8 million or 9 million or 5 million? How all of a sudden now at 12,000, now they letting you know that there's been a hit. So did somebody come in and take all of the money except the 12,000, or was it being taken out incrementally? So I would want to try to have somebody probably come and be a forensic accountant and try to understand, where was the money taken out? What was it used for over time? And why just now am I being notified? But my biggest challenge when I looked at that website for the actual firm, the management or the team is not anywhere on the site. And I wasn't able to find out who operates that site, who's the founder, who's running that firm. Here? Yes, ma'am. I looked through everything because when I first heard that story, I pretty much looked through every link and I couldn't find who the people are that are running that. So I just think it's very unfortunate. I heard his net worth is between 30 and maybe $80 million.
Right.
If it's under
that 12 million was supposed to be for his pension, his retirement.
Exactly. So I just think it's very unfortunate. I've been saying this a lot of times about celebrities and entertainers, is that they try to do the right thing with their money, which means they have to put their money with people, and the people just rob them. And then
Right.
when they end up in a bad situation, we blame the entertainer, but they try to do the right thing with the money. And if somebody is intent on stealing from you, there's very little you can do about it.
I didn't know they had a Jamaican stock exchange.
Yeah, they got Jamaican Stock Exchange.
Okay, but is it, like ours, and
I mean, it's never going to be on the level of the New York Stock Exchange because it's not, it's still Jamaica. But they do have an exchange, and I heard that he was trying to do projects in Jamaica.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you have big time clients that have millions of dollars investing in your firm, your financial firm, this is stocks and securities, that helps you.
Exactly.
That's what you need, high profile clients. And he was trying to keep it in his country.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is a black financial company, but he was just trying to keep it in-house. So they have Jamaican Stock Exchange, bonds trading, stock trading, ETF trading, SSL investment online. So it's no pictures of anybody.
No, as I'm saying, you can't find who's running this firm. And so I couldn't, when I looked it up on Google, I couldn't find who was running the firm. So I just think that's very unusual. But I just think it's unfortunate that, and like I said, in these scenarios, you rarely get the money back because the money's gone. So even if they find the people and put them in jail, they don't get the money back.
Really? Okay.
So I just think.
I wonder what would make him invest in this type of firm? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure he met.
He probably met them.
Personally. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably met these people and knew them. And then maybe, he may have wanted to put, because you got to ask yourself, if I'm in an emerging market, if I can maybe get on the ground floor and then explodes, I can maybe take the 10 million and turn it into 50 million or 100 million. So there may be projects in Jamaica, because one thing about Usain Bolt, he actually does have the money.
Right.
So it opens up doors for different opportunities that maybe the average person wouldn't have access to.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to just pull up, because I meant to say this in the beginning, just his resume. So he is an 8-time Olympic champion, 11-time world champion, 3-time Diamond League final winner, 2-time world championship silver medalist.
Yeah.
Didn't he surpass Carl Lewis and other legendary track and field athletes? He's 36 years old, born August 21st, 1986. I was trying to pull up his net worth. Excuse me. He retired in 2017. So, I'm pretty sure he has his money spread out, like a diverse portfolio, probably some real estate. He still have endorsements. He still, has an income annually. But you do set a certain amount aside for your retirement.
Exactly.
Because anything can happen. Anything else that you want to say? What else? Because I did ask that question. Can he get the money back? But
how? Because the question is, where is the money? So if they took the money and spent it, how are you gonna get it back?
What about insurance? Shouldn't this company have an insurance policy?
They may have an insurance policy, so we'll see. But the question is, is he the only person that's been impacted by it? And what is the value of the insurance policy? Right.
So when you are investing that much millions, don't you ask that question? Well, what is the insurance policy? If I'm putting 20 million into your investment firm, what is the insurance policy? Is it 20 million, 100 million, 50 million? Those are questions that you should be answering, right?
You should asking and you would think his manager would have asked those questions, because if it's something private, I don't know how Jamaica's set up, whether or not they insure certain type of investments, how their system works. And sometimes in the private market, you get very little government regulation. Okay. So it's kind of like buyer beware.
Really?
Yeah. So you may, if he knew to find out whether or not you're insured, can I verify that? Yada, yada, yada. At what level are you insured at? Then that might have been something that he known about. And then maybe they can go and try to figure out, maybe we can sue them and then maybe get the money from the insurance company, or maybe sue the insurance company. You never know. But the problem is that a lot of times in unregulated markets, it can be difficult if somebody does you wrong to get any kind of support.
Just like with the Bitcoin, I forgot the man name.
FTX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people, then he take their money.
He took that, and he'd only take money from America. He took money from Africans.
Right. So
Yeah,
would
yeah.
they get their money back? Like,
No, you don't get what I mean. The money's gone. So say to me, you can't get it back. It's gone. They spent it.
What did they spend it on? Like,
I heard their food bill in the Bahamas was in the millions per month.
what? Would you feed everybody on the island?
I don't know. So they spent. That's what I'm saying. People do this stuff because they're gonna spend the money. They're not taking the money and putting it up. They running through the money.
But he's been running through this money in a year or.
Yeah.
So he's like, listen, I'm about to break the law on the highest level. I'm about to rob all these people of millions and billions of dollars. And I'm just going to live the life that I felt as though I should have been born into. Like I'm a royal or something. So they just go crazy. Yachts, islands.
The house, I heard the house is worth millions.
How do you purchase all these things and aren't they tracking you if you're purchasing, or are you purchasing under a company? You see what I'm saying?
But he was given authority through the parent company to do that.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So he was in partnership with that girl, with Alameda, to do what he was doing. They gave him like almost $1 billion loan.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. So that money's gone, and then he also put the money with other people. So they got to try to locate that money with those people and get those people to give the money back.
And maybe this kind of happened similar with Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
If it was a former employee dipping in people's money accounts and putting it there, transferring it over there, spending it. So it's like, okay, yeah. Didn't they have to trace what that employee, where did he take that money and transfer it to, or spent it on? So it's a hot mess.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's gonna take a long time to unravel it too.
Right. So listen, Usain Bolt, he's not stupid. And he was doing the right thing for him and his family, investing in the future, building generational wealth. He is a father of 3, he has his life partner, right? So he was doing the right thing. However, another person, I need to share this. I want to go to PNB Rock.
Yeah.
Because, he passed away untimely last year, and it comes to find out his girlfriend Stephanie Soborn something, I can't pronounce his last name, but Stephanie reveals PNB Rock did not have life insurance or a will. Mind you, I googled his net worth. They say he was worth $4 million, so I'm gonna break that down in a second. And they said, we don't plan for death. That's a sorry excuse to use when you were being irresponsible and you have a child. He has a daughter, if he has royalties, who gets the royalties? It's probably going to go straight to his mother and not his child if he didn't have a will. And let me just play her message. This is her talking. Okay. I don't want all this. This one.
We didn't have nothing set up. We're so young. We don't plan on death. Like, so I don't get no death benefits. I don't get nothing. Like, I don't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not gonna ask nobody for nothing. I got that personality and I'm working on that. I'm trying to, empty myself of my ego and my pride, because I'm not asking nobody for nothing. Like, I don't care. I could be on fire and I'm not even gonna ask you to spit on me. I don't need nothing from y'all. But nah, I'm trying to stop being like that. But God, he's been making a way. He's been making a way, child. He's been making a way. He's been making a way. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for y'all. I love y'all too.
Okay. So is this a generational thing? Because her thing was, well, we're young. We're so young, we don't plan for death. That's a very arrogant statement, as if because you're young, you could dodge death until you're old.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's maybe, how she sees it. She may not have experience with people planning for their death. But I just think what went on with PNB was just a result of, like, his death, to me, is kind of like the final situation, but there's a lot of things leading up to that.
Mhm.
And so what I want people to really understand is that, so he has another daughter that's 9 years old. So he died like in his early 30s.
Mhm.
So he had another daughter that's 9 years old. And then he has a daughter with the woman that was just speaking on the screen.
Mhm.
What I want people to understand, and we saw this the same thing with Nipsey Hussle. When you live like a certain lifestyle, you don't all of a sudden pop up and start becoming responsible. And so I think a lot of people need to factor in that if you're living an irresponsible life, this is what happens at the end of it, because you haven't built a structure for your life from the gate. So you end up with no insurance and no will, and you got 2 children.
Well, I looks like I just pull up his bio that it's 1.
I heard he had an older child. When I
Okay.
was looking at the articles you sent me. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So he had an older child, a daughter that was like 9 years old.
Okay, and he's 30.
He was 30.
Yeah.
So my thing is that my question is, if you making money in the music industry, right, and you got children, and you with the chick, and y'all pretty much is acting as if y'all is in a relationship, why don't you structure your life to where something happens to you, she good, but like I said, is that the irresponsibility is already part of the lifestyle.
Which
So you don't
responsible.
Yes, it was irresponsible for you to have a child with a woman. Like I said, from my understanding, that's the second child.
Okay.
So you have 2 children from 2 different women. You living with this, you and this woman is acting like y'all is a couple, but you don't do anything with her legally. So if something does happen to you, she gets stuff.
And why didn't she ask and say,
Because she might not know, or like I said, because that's his older daughter, right?
yeah, I think this is the older one because
That's the oldest
this is the
daughter.
baby. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So they got the little baby, and then they got the older daughter. So, but this is what I try to tell women, and I'm not a relationship counselor. If a dude already got children from a chick and he didn't marry her, why you come in and be the second person? Because he's showing you already what's going on. So then she comes in to be the second person. He didn't do nothing with the first woman. Then he get killed. Now he got 2 children, and you all trying to figure out how to settle his estate. And like you said, most of them are probably gonna end up going to his mama,
Right.
because that's his next of kin by law.
Right.
So see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to get
Because
people
I think the women's and young generation and older,
Yeah.
but especially when you're young, you're focused on this: the bags, the shoes, the shopping, the status, and you need to focus on the life insurance, your child's future, generational wealth. What if he's the breadwinner? What if something will happen? What will happen to you if something happens to him?
Yeah, but that also got to come from him. But the thing is that if you were so focused on the relationship and you being like a quote unquote a kept woman, you don't realize that he didn't build a structure for that when he's not here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the most important thing, is that where something happens to him, because he didn't have to get shot, he could have died in a car crash.
Right. Right.
So that's
exactly.
so that's what I'm saying, is I think that's what people
Is that a red flag too? That if you're with a man and he already has a child before you have a child with him, and you ask if you were to ask a question about how he handled his finances, that's a red flag. If I don't have no will, I don't have no life insurance, but you should ask these questions. And when you ask these questions and they say no, they don't have that, that's a red flag.
It is a red flag. But when you so gassed on him being an entertainer and yada yada yada, you may overlook that to say I'm with an entertainer.
Right.
But that's the problem. So what I would encourage because I talked about this with all these rappers that got killed early. They should have life insurance policy. He could have got $5 million worth of life insurance for probably $2,000 a month.
Speaking of that, it says his net worth in 2022 was $4 million, annual income $300,000. It says PNB Rock net worth for last 5 years: 2022 $4 million, 2021 $3 million, 2020 $2.5 million, 2019 $2 million, 2018 $1.7 million. So he's been making money.
Exactly.
Probably before taxes, but even after taxes, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Annually.
He's doing well for himself.
Yeah, because not only was he a rapper, he was writing, and I think he did some producing for other artists, because that's where the real money is at. And you did not set anything up. And Did your financial planner, you had to have one, tell you, your lawyer, you know, what were people telling you? So a question, why are we not thinking about building wealth? You know, is this a Black thing? Is this a generational thing? But why are we not thinking about generational wealth and life insurance? And also one second question, life insurance is one of the gateways to generational wealth.
Exactly. I mean, I just think it's a byproduct of how you've been socialized and conditioned. So if he doesn't know about these things,
Mhm.
and if he thinks it's just normal for me to have a child with this lady, then have a child with this chick and hang out for a little bit, and then maybe 5 years later have a child with another, and I don't know how to create a structure to protect all these people if I'm not here. Because anything can happen. You can slip on a banana peel and be out of here. So
Right.
I think that's what we need to start having the conversation, is that if you really care about your descendants and the person that you with, as a man that starts making money, or as a man with children, even if you're not making millions of dollars, like I say, you can go get you a life insurance policy. You got to start thinking about what can happen if I'm not here, because anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the irresponsibility was already exhibited in his behavior, because I don't like the fact that he got with the second woman and y'all got a kid and you still haven't got married. Because if she was married to him, everything would be good.
You still didn't get life insurance. You still didn't get a will after you even had the second kid either.
Yeah, but he could have got married and she would have got put into the situation because she was his wife.
Okay, so if he did not have a will and they were married, any money coming in will automatically go to her. But don't you still need some type of paperwork? She still wouldn't get life insurance because
He don't have none. You're right about that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that any publishing he has, things of that nature, would be going to her. Now, who does it go to? Like you said, most likely it'll go to his mama.
Right.
So that's the issue. But she would be
even if he didn't want to marry her, why didn't she insist, get a will, put your daughter on it so the royalties will go to her, or get life insurance? Why didn't she? It doesn't matter that you're young. I was young. I was 16 when my first, had my second when I was 21. I had life insurance.
Yeah.
It's basic. It's basic.
But she may not know that. And so, and also she may just be gassed on the fact that she with dude. So she may not want to put it in a situation where if I try to press him about this, he leave me. So this is why we got to tell people, like, I'm talking to the men, you got to value your children more, because if something like this happened to you, what happened to your kids?
Right.
It's not about, so it's unfortunate that happened to the woman, but I'm talking about what's going to support his children in the future now that he's not here. And that's what you got to think of, instead of just being with these chicks and y'all having children, because anything can happen at any given time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not a Black thing. That's across the board for everybody.
Exactly.
But that's it.
Okay.
Lesson learned. Have life insurance.
Have life insurance. Get a will. And then I would tell because if I was her father, my question to her would be, why you having children with this dude? He don't want to marry you.
Okay, you still want to marry? I ain't married.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to, because what I'm saying is that what I don't like is these guys are being taken off the planet, and now the woman got to pick up the pieces because she don't have no paper stating that I'm his next of kin, and then she got to go fight for money. So if you care about her, you don't put in that position.
Right, that is true. If it's harder for you to marry this man because he just don't want to get married because he don't want you to have half,
then you don't need to be with him.
It's that too, but it's easier for you to tell him, well, at least get life insurance and have a will so that your assets could go towards your child. And then if he says, I don't want to do it, then there you go. You should ask this question before you get pregnant. And if you ask it after you had the baby, I would just that's when you need to start planning your economic exit, and start planning, your life for economic stability on your own. But those are very important questions. And lesson learned regarding Usain, like, what can we learn from Usain Bolt? Because if we all become a millionaire, you want to make sure, a lot of times you're more vulnerable when you have more money.
Exactly. Definitely. You got to try to vet the people that are managing your money. You got to vet them very hard, because once your money's gone, it can be hard to get back. And you should never assume that they're not going to do it.
Right. I will say this about him real quick. He found out this all happened within 30 days. So that tells me monthly he's sitting down watching his accounts sitting with his lawyer, sitting with his accountant at least once a month to track the money, because within 30 days, he was like, wait a minute, I had this amount last month. Now this month I only have this amount. So it seemed like he's on top of it. Usually people don't notice it till 2-3 months down the line.
Okay.
But that type of money you have, for me, if I was worth 90 million, if I was worth 1 million, I'm going to sit down with my lawyer, my accountant once a month, because I need to make sure they're doing their job. You know what I'm saying? And nobody is skimming. So, if that makes sense. All right. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Diamond Dave. So everybody go to YouTube, Diamond Dave on YouTube, and subscribe. He be having some good live shows, very informative. Also, again, go to www.highestpaid.online and check out the Trading Academy. Yes. That's your company, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right.
So appreciate it. Appreciate for being on. And like I said, let us know what's going on in the comments, how y'all feel, yay or nay. Because I like this particular topic we talked about, because I think a lot of people can relate to it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Diamond Dave.
Appreciate it.
All righty.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.